What's up, gamers, and welcome back for more WotC-20. Today's matchup is Do the Wave Wigglytuff against Nidoking. This is a Zapdos variant on Nidoking, so we'll see how it goes. Opening actives will be Cleffa versus Cleffa, and first turn will go to Wigglytuff. So you can see a lot of options in hand. ER, Focus Band, Comp Search. We'll see if we... Ooh, actually, I think there's like 3 Comp Searches. So maybe you'll comp search out 2 comp searches to get a fan club going, and plenty of energy to attach for Cleffa to keep an Eek train rolling as well. 1 Zubat in hand as well, probably get some quick bench filling going, but definitely thinking about using a comp search and what to toss right now. There's the comp search, and it will be 2 comp searches to the bin, so discarding your discard, that's one way to keep cards around. And clearly fanning the deck, looking for... Not sure what they grabbed there. It looked like a Tyrogue. I assume it'll be a fan club unless it is prized. And it was a Tyrogue. Uh-oh. Tyrogue comes down. It's going to be a switch, so 1 in 4 chance here to just donk and end the game. Psychic Energy attaches. Focus Band also comes down, not necessary. First flip is a Tails on the baby rule, so no donk at the moment. Very aggressive play. 1 in 4 chance that it works, though. Not bad. Trader will put a Nidoking back in the deck as the first action for Nidoking. Quick hand check to see how necessary that is. Now, worth noting here, if you do pull Rocket Zapdos out, put it inactive and start pinging down the Tyrogue. Tyrogue can't damage, at least at the moment. Tyrogue would not be able to easily damage that Rocket Zapdos with a fighting resistance. Instead, Trader pulls out a Nidoran. And plenty of energy in hand to attach to this Cleffa. For an Eek, it will be the Lightning instead of the Fighting, saving those for Nidoking. An Eek attempt is not good. So we'll see if Tuff still tries to Smash Punch with Tyrogue. Again, a 1 in 4 chance. And they are just going to go for it. No other moves. First heads. Needs another one to get the knockout. And it's good, so Nidoran is going to have to come into the active slot. It has 50 HP, it's from Aquapolis, it's got 2 reasonable attacks. Scratch for 20 off DCE, and Poison Horn for Grass Energy is Poison on flip. Just immediately evolves, though, to Nidorino, also a good attacker in its own right. Has a Warp Attach, and passes back, so no attacks for Nidoking, Nidorino, 70 HP, also Aquapolis. Takedown does 40 for 3 colorless with 10 on the recoil. And then Poison Horn is a flip to poison, but it'll actually do 10 damage instead of no damage like the Nidoran line has. So, good attacks. Metal gets attached to Cleffa here, but just going to keep trying to Smash Punch. It's another Tails, so been fairly even. Cleffa going down is not great. 2 Gusts in hand, those are not ideal either. Fighting Energy onto the Nidoran, onto the Nidorino, and a pass back to Tuff. Both sides a little locked down here. You can see a Sabrina's Abra in hand for Tuff. Zubat finally hits the bench with a Grass Energy attach. That is Koga's Zubat. That group attack we've seen fill the board very quickly for Do the Wave. And ER will hit the Fighting Energy. Well-timed ER. Tails on the Smash Punch again. And there's a Comp Search. Well-timed. Gonna Dutch a Town Volunteers and a Gust, keep 1 other Gust. For an Oak, which just pitches the Gust anyway, so was probably planning to Oak the entire time. Losing the Gust is something we'll keep an eye on. Losing the Town V is also something we'll keep the eye on, but Oaking here definitely needed. Only a matter of time before that Tyrogue can hit the Nidorino, but I don't believe this Tuff list runs any Strength Charm. I don't think they run any Plus Power, so it's not a 2-shot from that Tyrogue. A lot of energy coming off of that. Another Nidoran line is available in hand to start setting up. DCE onto that Nidorino means that there is an attempt at a knockout here, but it's a Tails on the baby flip. Would have had to still get through the Focus Band though. Focus Band on baby's pretty good. You can see a DCE in hand with that Abra. Cyclone Energy as well. Just gonna stay in, go for a Smash Punch it looks like. Hits the head on this one, so 30 to that Nidorino, 40 HP left. Nidoran has the opportunity to evolve here. And it does. Also grabs a Fighting Energy. Energy in hand for the following turns also looks like an item finder. Might save that for another Oak. And Tails again on the baby flip. So brutal flips here. Neither deck really rolling the way they typically do here. Double Gust, Cyclone, DCE, Oak, and Sabrina's Abra. There is no other Sabrina line cards in this deck. It's just the Abra Free Retreater. It allows Double Gust to kind of function freely. And the bench will fill up with KogaBats, so Group Attack will be enough for the knockout because it deals 40, 30 plus 40, 30 from the Tyrogue, 40 from Group Attack, takes out one Nidorino. And another Gust in hand for Nidoking. Not a great card to be seeing when you're not set up. Fighting Energy comes down onto Nidorino. And there is a Copycat. Looks like Copycat's going to be grabbed here. Throwing that item finder back in. Wasn't sure if we'd see an Oak. Oh, card goes flying. Looks like it was a Copycat for 5. Felt like going there instead of going for Item Finder Oak, and it pulls out 2 Clefas. That's a big deal. A lot of staying power there, a little bit of baby stalling, get some Eek going, hopefully able to stabilize the board. And you can see the DCE in hand, so if Nidoking can be found next turn, maybe the board starts swinging. One problem though, KogaBats will hit Nidoking for super effective damage, doing 80 with that Group Attack. Of course, the DCE was committed to the Zubat to get that line of play going. And now, Tuff's bench is full, no way to start setting up a Jigglypuff, gonna have to commit to that bat line. It's also very possible that Nidorino just sticks around. Tyrogue comes back in. Smash Punch is a Tails. And it looks like there's a Focus Band of Nidoking's own available in hand. DCE coming down. And a Stadium comes down as well. That is Rocket's Minefield. So when a Pokemon comes out of the hand onto the bench, at least for basics, you flip a coin. If Tails, it takes 2 damage counters. Tails again on the takedown, trying to hit that Tyrogue, not being able to do so. Prizing is 4 to 6 as a reminder. Still no Zapdos to be found either. And it looks like it was straight into Smash Punch, clutching up on hand size, passing the turn. Focus Band now comes down onto the Nidorino. And another Tails on takedown. I think that other die on the prizes is being used to count Tails. That's 4 in a row. Looks like it's just going straight for Smash Punch. Drawing cards and passing turn. This one's a heads. There is a Gust in hand if you want to try to take out one of the Zubats. Yep. Bats coming in. 40 HP. That'll be a prize for Nidoking, so that takes some energy off the board, takes a Zubat off the board. Definitely good to power it down if you go to Nidoking, but now Smash Punch can get a knockout on heads. Of course, Focus Band's online for both actives. There's a Jigglypuff now, so I assume we'll start to see that get some setup love. But first we have to roll for Rocket's Minefield. And heads means Jigglypuff comes down unabated, stays at full health. Doesn't matter if Nidoking comes down, because Nidoking will also have super effective attacks against the tough line, but right now that doesn't matter. Smash Punch Tails, it's a big deal for Nidoking trying to stabilize. There's the Nidoking as well. Wide board, so Earth Rage on a coin flip, if it's heads, does 10 to all of the benches, or all the Pokemon on the bench for Wigglytuff. Trader, didn't see what went in. And there's the Zapdos, as we were talking about before, has a good resistance. Nidoking 2, Giant Horn, that's a lot of damage. 50 damage flat, otherwise on a coin flip for heads it goes up to 80. So not something Wigglytuff will be a fan of. Zapdos to bench. And it looks like Earth Rage flip coming. That is a Tails. Tails counter goes up, rolling for potential knockout. Alright, so Giant Horn goes through. At least through the baby rule, they're not going to roll for the damage modifier, just straight to a focus band roll. And it looks like that did not save the Tyrogue, so another prize for Nidoking. Prizing, now tied 4-4. And another Jigglypuff to hand. 2 Tufts in hand. Nidoking just outside of the reach of a Do the Wave, full power Do the Wave, getting the knockout. As we talked before, I don't think there's any Strength Charm, I don't think there's any plus powers to be seen from Tuff. Oh, and we're doing a redo. Forgot to do a damage roll on Rocket's Minefield for the Zapdos. Fixing that now, it takes 20. So those 2 coin flips going the right way on Tyrogue does help. 6 Tails is obviously rough, but looks like a hard choice here for Tuff. I think here you can just go slow, set up Zubat, come on in, deal 60, won't be enough for a KO. Gotta find a way to get 10 extra onto that Nidoking before taking that line of play. Instead, Jigglypuff comes in. Cyclone is going to pull in a Cleffa. Nidoking's choice there. And will we see Tuff come down, start doing the wave? If this doesn't hit the Cleffa though, Nidoking's just going to come in and absolutely implode it. And that's a Tails on the baby rule. I think we're about to see Nidoking pull ahead on prizing. Desert Shaman wiping both hands. That's a lot of cards back in the deck, then draw 4. Shaman's a nice card if you're playing the slower deck. Fresh 4 both sides, we'll try to get a peek. That is also supported for a turn. Looks like Item Finder, Copycat, which can't be used this turn, and a Lightning Energy, which immediately goes on the Rocket Zapdos. Free retreating that Cleffa out. Nullifying what Cyclone was trying to do here. Earth Rage will attempt to tag 10 to Wigglytuff's bench. It does not. Looks like we're still counting Tails, but Giant Horn doesn't matter here. Or at least the coin flip doesn't matter, it's just a straight knockout. So 3 prizes left for Nidoking, 4 left for Wigglytuff. Hard matchup for Tuff. Worth noting, KogaZubat does have a fighting resistance, so it could survive a Giant Horn depending on the flips. Nidorino being grass type and hitting the takedown was a big deal earlier. And there's a double gust. Both sides get to gust. With free retreaters being the option for Nidoking to choose among, probably not a meaningful choice, but Wigglytuff will pull in that Rocket Zapdos. I do think we have at least one Lightning in the bin, if not two, so Plasma could power it up, get to an Electro Burn. Jigglypuff coming down from the hand, Rocket's Minefield will tag it for 20. Not very meaningful as far as Nidoking's damage output goes, but maybe for Zapdos. And an Oak pitching an Oak and a Cleffa. There's another Cyclone in hand, plenty of energy, another Oak, another Cleffa. And 2 Recycle. That means there's at least 3 Oak in this deck from what I see. A Grass Energy and a Tough. Thinking long and hard about what to do here. Recycle comes down to Jigglypuff, keeping in mind that if it comes in, does knock out the Rocket Zapdos in future turns, that Nidoking will come right back at it. Looks like another Nidoran is in hand along with a Nidoking. Instead, Copycat's gonna throw the hand away, maybe looking for more energy for Zapdos. We'll see. Could have dropped the Nidoran before, opted not to. See, a Fan Club came off of that Copycat. Can't use it yet, but you can use Trader. A Metal, Finder, and DCE, I think, is something I see. That Metal can go on to Zapdos. Start doing some very effective Electro Burning. Instead, it'll be Plasma, attach a Lightning. Seems to be the way things are going here. So Electro Burn, if you're not familiar, does 70 for 3 Lightning and 1 Colorless, and then Zapdos will recoil itself for 10 times the number of Lightning attached. So if you have 3 Lightning and 1 Metal, the recoil will only come back as 10 because of double Metal reduction. 10 reduced going out, 10 reduced coming in. Decent hand size for Tough, just trying to think what to do here. Active Zubat coming out, putting in one with no damage counters on it. Tough now on board with that Recycle energy. No DCE in hand though, so another Recycle coming down here. We'll be able to do the wave next turn for a knockout on Zapdos. A Metal could come down to block that on board as things currently stand, but it would only require one more basic on the Tough bench to boost past that and get a clean knockout. Fan Club comes down for Nidoking, pulling out another Rocket Zapdos. 2 Rocket Zapdos. So worth noting, if the active Zapdos does get knocked out, 1 Lightning Energy is all it takes for Plasma to start pulling them out of the bin. Worth noting, thanks to Fan Club, Minefield does not trigger for those 2 Zapdos. DCE, Metal, and Item Finder. Would start thinking about Item Finder. Trader for the whole Nido line is also available. Looks like it's Plasma, but there are no more lightning in the bin. So now 2 of the Zubats are at 20. Start thinking about your prizing, maybe item finder for Gust later on if you end up having to just get a single Plasma off to snipe off a Zubat from the bench. Gust will help you clean that up. Only 3 prizes needed for Nidoking to win at this point. Still 4 left for Tough. Looks like Cleffa will now come in with that metal attached to it. Grass attaches to Zubat, and Eek goes off with no issue. So instead of powering up the Tough, knocking out the Zapdos, trading that way, we're going to start going slower here, going back to Cleffa. And worth noting, there is a lightning in the hand for Nidoking, so knocking out that Zapdos wouldn't have slowed down anything. Quick bin check probably to see what can be used for Finder. The problem here is dropping the metal for the Zapdos would mean you can't damage Cleffa at all, but you don't want to drop the lightning, then have it get knocked out, and then have no lightning for the other Zapdoses to ramp on. Looks like the lightning's being chucked anyway, though. Remember, we saw that Town V chucked earlier along with 2 Gusts. Trader and lightning to the bin, so that's one way for Zapdos to fetch the lightning. And good play, that pulls in the Zubat with Gust and allows you to simultaneously get that lightning attach. Passing on the attach for the turn, that keeps the metal in hand. And now 50 is a lot harder for Tough to reach. Well, not a lot harder, not impossible, but it'll need a bench slot and an attach. Looks possible based on the current hand. I see 2 DCEs, Focus Band, and a Puff. Tough is going to come in, assume Puff to bench. No, it'll be a double Gust. So once again, with 3 retreaters on the bench for Tough, whatever gets gusted here won't really matter on that side of the board. And a clean Rocket Zapdos being gusted in. Oh, that was a heads for Rocket's Minefield, putting that Jigglypuff onto the bench. No single knockout available here. Could just tag the Zapdos for 20 with an attach to that Zubat, and then let Tough clean up. Instead, Zubat will retreat out, DCE will go to Jigglypuff, Cleffa comes back inactive with that Metal Energy. Not a bad hand, though. Wouldn't necessarily need to eke it away. Focus Band comes down as an attach to Cleffa. And it will be Eek, so deck's getting thin. 2 Nidoran in hand with a Nidoking, DCE, item finder, and I believe a metal. Still that same metal that we've been talking about. Might see that DCE used as a retreat here. Finder discarding Nidoran and Nidoking, so Nidoline not the way to go anymore. Finder for Gust. And retreating that Zapdos with DCE like we were talking about. We'll see what gets dragged in here. It's going to be the Tough. And this will be a big giant horn swing. First, Earth Rage. Yep, Earth Rage. That's a heads. Heads and tails starting to even out. And that 10 to everything is a pretty big deal. That power is also a put, so metal doesn't stop it on the Cleffa. And 1 prize left, I think, for Nidoking. Might be 2. No, I think that's one. One prize left for Nidoking, I believe. So doing 40 with Zubat here, not super appealing. However, on a Tails, well, the problem here is you come in with the damaged Zubat on the bench to attack. Nidoking will go up to 80, and then you're offering a prize through Earth Rage next turn if you put the Zubat with 30 HP on the bench. And Nightly Garbage Run, which is Town V's little sister. Not a supporter for turn, but instead of grabbing 5, you can grab 3. Worth noting, Town V does state that you pick 5, so Nightly Garbage Run has the added words of up to, so you can choose up to 3. You can pick 1 or 2. Just a notable difference between the cards, and it's not supporter for turn. And it looks like it is going to be that Zubat play we were talking about. That'll be 40. Oh, Nightly Garbage Run grabbed the other 2 Zubats. That's terrible. Terrible for Nidoking. So this would be 80, so flipping for Focus Band right now. So Heads is going to save the Nidoking. That's a big deal. Good play from Tuff to Nightly Garbage Run those Zubats in, get a big group attack off, but Earth Rage could seal it here, I think. And it's an Earth Rage flip. It's Heads, so despite all those tails, Earth Rage comes up clutch. The final prize was an Oak. Thank you for watching. Good game. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll catch you next time.